EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for January 2nd, 2025. Hope everybody had a fantastic and safe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We're now in 2025, and I will tell you this is one of those videos, for those of you who follow me for a long time and have said that it's the reason that some of you follow. We're going to get a deep dive today in atmospheric physics, okay? We're going to talk about some hows and whys. That's what a lot of you follow me for. I'm not just another stiff sitting up here giving you a forecast. In this case, I'm going to tell you why I think things are going to happen and how I think things are going to play out, more specifically surrounding that Monday's storm potential. So first and foremost, our Thursday video forecast is sponsored by Kleckner & Sons Appliances. Family-owned and operated, Kleckner & Sons have been serving the greater Lehigh Valley region since 1945. Kleckner & Sons are here to serve your appliance needs at two convenient locations in the Lehigh Valley, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street in Emmaus. The leader in sales and service prides itself in providing outstanding continuous customer service from the moment the customer steps through the door. Kleckner's provides a wide range of name brand appliances and parts to target all of your appliance needs. They also offer professional delivery and installation options as well as repair services performed by in-house qualified technicians. From kitchen renovations to small specialty appliances to a new laundry repair, Kleckner's has you covered. For more information or inquiries, please contact one of the showroom locations or check out their website at klecknerandsons.com, or you can give them a phone call at the number above me, 610-433-4202. Experience the small business difference for yourself. Shop at Kleckner & Sons Appliances, proud sponsor of the Thursday video forecast. So today, partly cloudy day, and we have temperatures that are going to be in that 36 to 40 degree range as you see above me. It will be windy. I do have the windy icon on there. Continuation of what was going on yesterday, overnight, and again, most notably this morning. And then tomorrow, very similar, maybe a hair less in temperatures. I think once we get to the weekend, you'll be closer to the freezing mark for high temperatures across the entire area, and then below freezing once we get into next week, okay? So that's the temperatures part of it. Let's get into the other stuff, the other juicy stuff, right? So here's today, and then we have windy conditions, and here's what it looks like. Most notably in the morning, you'll have some gusts that are in the 30 to 35 range before noon. Once we get in the afternoon, it comes down very slightly, but it's still going to be breezy, by like 15 to 25, maybe some gusts up to 30. Okay, so it won't be as bad unless you're talking about over to Jersey. It's probably the 30 to 35 continues into the afternoon there, but it's going to be moving out and lessening overnight and decreasing. I don't think Friday's too bad with the breezy stuff at all, but once we get to Saturday, we'll have another cold air advection of wind event that's most likely in the 30 to 35 mile per hour range as far as wind speeds here on Saturday. This is the same thing like we're dealing with, and this is not an uncommon thing in winter. People ask me about that all the time. Which are all good questions. That's fine. But wind speeds it's windier in winter. This time of year, you have a lot of cold air advection that comes into the region. Every time it does that, you get a reinforcing shot of cold air. It's usually accompanied by wind, and those can last a day or maybe even 2 days. Like we had that Wednesday and now Thursday deal, and now we're going to have it again on Saturday. But this one should just be probably 1 day here on Saturday with that colder air coming in behind this little system right here. Okay, now this looks very innocent, and it is innocent. It's a very weak system as it passes through our area on Friday afternoon and evening. Down by the Delmarva, I think you might get maybe far southern PA. You might squeak out a quick snow shower out of this. It's not like an overwhelming thing. Well, we'll keep an eye on this. This doesn't look like a big deal right now, but once this wave gets offshore, it's going to develop into a closed low right there. You see that? Now, this is important for down the line and the eventuality of what happens early next week. Okay, we have a storm signal that has been in our long-range outlook now for 2 weeks, for the between 6th and 9th period. Still am in love with that period, always have been and still am. And there was a trend this weekend with the model guidance or not this weekend, over the holiday, yesterday. In fact, New Year's Eve was showing this system staying to the south, and I heard the moans and groans on social media. Oh man, here we go. I'm going to miss out on this. Meanwhile, Virginia's going to get smoked, and parts of Maryland, D.C., they're going to get a lot of snow. We're going to be sitting here getting nothing. Okay, well, the trends are trying to turn around a little bit here, and this is not a surprise whatsoever. Okay, so we are not out of the woods here on Monday. This storm here is going to become one of the critical elements that is going to dictate this storm. Almost like a one thing sets up the other deal, sort of. But it's going to move up toward Newfoundland, and it's going to actually bomb out en route to there. So our next system here comes in. This is the latest run I have of the European model that ran this evening before I recorded the video. And this is no longer, this is yesterday. Let me show you yesterday at the same time. This is what it did yesterday. It stayed south of the region. This is why everybody was saying, oh, well, maybe you get a few snow showers or this in parts of our area. But it was largely south over Virginia, Maryland, and there. It was staying too far to the south. Now, the latest run today is further north, okay? 24 hours later, different scenario. It's further north. And it gets accumulating snow and a decent amount, like plowable snowfall over much of our area, except maybe the far northern part by the New York-Pennsylvania border. I'm not saying it can't happen there either, but I mean, it's not quite there yet. But, you know, we're starting to see a trend north here. This is a mid-level warm air advection event. So this is an overrunning event, basically. Okay? Warm air overriding colder air at the surface. We do have the colder air at the surface, right? So it is going to be in the form of snow, except now there's some mixing coming in down here over Maryland into the equation. If they start off as snow, because they will start as snow there, okay, according to the European model. And then this heads out and exits later in the day here on Monday. Okay, so that is what the latest guidance shows for that. However, the GFS is still further south with it. It is further north than it was yesterday, but it's still further south with it. Now, there's a big reason, and here comes the atmospheric physics part. Here comes the juicy stuff. Okay, the hows and whys. If you look at, this is looking at southeastern Canada. Pennsylvania is sitting right here, in case you can't find us on a map. There you go. There's Pennsylvania, right? That's Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Jersey's here, right? So that's where we're looking at. This is that same storm that I was just showing you that's moving through on Friday. That's going to be an instant little storm Friday afternoon, evening. It blows off offshore en route to Newfoundland, which is right at the tip of the arrow here. There's also this system here, which is the remnants of that system that moved through our area on New Year's Eve and brought us the rain and the thunderstorms, which, by the way, I said would happen, and it did, okay? All right, so this is just going to kind of sit up here and spin over Quebec. Here's this storm coming into Newfoundland, right? And it's a big storm. It's a very strong storm, 960 millibars. That's a pretty strong storm, okay? But in between here, and here's our next system coming in. This will be the Sunday night, Monday deal, right? There's an area of confluence right in here, okay? And I'll show you a better image of that in a little bit. Just so you get an idea of where this is. That confluence is very important. What confluence is basically is it's a wind flow pattern where air moves inward toward an axis that runs parallel to the wind flow. Okay, I don't expect you to really understand what that means, but there it is. Okay, there's your area of confluence on the European model. But if you notice where it's going, it's actually north of Watertown, New York, is where it's situated, going all across northern New York, and this extends eastward over to just north of Boston. That's where that confluence zone is. Under that confluence zone is an area of rapidly rising motion. So that means on either side of this, underneath, so the rapidly rising motion is under here, under this band. This is vorticity we're looking at. There is your sinking air on this side and sinking air on that side, on either side of it, because you're rapidly rising in the middle, and you have sinking air on the outside of either side of that boundary. This is important because sinking air is dry air, okay? So if this is further to the north, like the European has it, over northern New York, that means your area of sinking air is going to be over southern New York, and over all the way down to Connecticut, down to that area. That means this system moves into it, it's just going to eat the precipitation apart, and it's going to just dry out. You won't have any precipitation falling in where that squiggly line is right there. If you look at the same thing, same time frame, same exact time frame on the GFS, look how much further south it is. It goes from Rochester over to the Capital District in Albany, and then down through Connecticut. Okay, so that you're probably thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal, is it? Well, yeah, it is, because now your sinking air instead is right here, and that takes away much of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, especially northern New Jersey, out of the snow. So where that is positioned is critical to this forecast, and the trend has been to push it further north. Like I said, it's over northern New York, far northern New York, on New York State, on the European model. Just 24 hours ago, it was down here where the GFS has it right now. So we're trending in the direction of this moving further away, which is good if you want snow further north, is basically what I'm getting at, okay? So this kind of solution, if you want this kind of solution, This is going to have to, that confluence zone is going to need to shift or stay at least up to northern New York, because that is going to allow most of our area to get involved in some snow, and even some plowable snow, significant snow, in fact. When you have this kind of warm air advection in the mid-levels coming in like this, you're going to have an area to the north of that where it's colder getting hit with some pretty decent sizable snowfalls. Nothing, we're not talking about feet of snow here, but we're talking about maybe like a solid 3 to 6, 4 to 8, something 6 to 12 even is not off the table. Those are the kind of numbers you can get with this kind of thing. Okay, I don't want to put numbers firmly out there yet, because I don't even know where this is going to set up. The confluence zone is the important part of this, and what's going to dictate what this does. And if it's up here like this, you have a better chance for this to come north. So I'm just saying that we're watching and waiting. I'm just telling you that I think personally that this is going to actually trend a little bit further north, maybe not by a lot, but a little bit. And I don't have any scientific reasoning for that, other than to say that this isn't my first rodeo, and I've seen this song and dance many times. Okay, and I've seen when you have these warm air, mid-level warm air advection episodes, that usually wins out over the confluence that's off to the north. So again, we'll see how this trends over the next couple of days. Don't get too excited, but don't be doom and gloom like, oh, we're gonna miss. It's gonna miss towards south because of GFS says so. GFS is usually the last to pick up on this kind of thing, comparatively speaking to the European model, which is gonna be a little bit better with something like this, a synoptic thing like this. So we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. Just temper up expectations in the meantime, but keep your put things in pencil if you have things scheduled on Monday right now, because you could have a sudden change. And we will follow those trends over the next couple of days and have maps out this weekend if we need them. Okay, and I think we are going to need them for at least part of the area. How much the area is included is to be determined. But like I said, I have a feeling that it's going to shift even further north than this. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword there, though. If it goes too far north, you're going to have some mixing issues. See this pink in here? You're going to have some mixing issues coming into the equation for at least the southern portion of the region if it does move a little bit further north. So just be careful what you wish for in some cases. But we will follow that over the next couple of days to give you the latest as we have it. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich. That is your outlook for January 2nd, 2025. Have a great Thursday.